And now, the general weather around Alaska.
Hello, I'm National Weather Service meteorologist Peter Chan, and welcome to Alaska Weather. In this YouTube broadcast, I'll give you a general overview of what's happening across the state of Alaska, and if you'd like additional weather information on top of what I provide, you can go to weather.gov. That is the National Weather Service's online presence, and it will bring you to a map of the continental U.S. with Hawaii and Alaska to the lower left. Point and click anywhere on this map. It'll give you a very specific forecast, including any relevant watches, warnings, or advisories. And just a quick check of the map this Sunday afternoon. We're looking at a wide area of the Midwest, especially the Ohio Valley, lower Great Lakes, middle Mississippi Valley, under frost advisories. And not uncommon in the spring when you have clearing skies, a vulnerable time for a number of the crops in this region. So yes, frost advisories extensive there in the wake of a cold front. And we find a few red flag warnings for critical fire weather conditions, southern Colorado into eastern Montana. Well, taking a look here at what's been a very wet week across the western portion of the Gulf, including Kodiak Island. Rainfall at Kodiak Airport was approximately 8.19 inches, so 8.2 inches from late on April 16th through the 20th. There were 2 days, the 17th and the 18th, that set daily record rainfall amounts there at 3.23 inches and then 2.59 inches. So there was reports of generally minor flooding and a few minor landslides. Did manage to cause damage to one location, but fortunately no one was injured, and conditions are improving there. In fact, there have been some breaks in the cloud cover this afternoon. Areas still seeing some wind and light snow, the Bering Strait and down through St. Lawrence Island, where winter weather advisories continue into very late tonight, early Monday morning. The Canadian ridge of high pressure that brought just sunshine and very warm temperatures to the Panhandle and east central areas of the mainland this past week is weakening, and we're looking at a stronger low develop, a rather large low pressure system out over the Aleutians and lower to middle Bering Sea. That'll be sitting out there for the next couple of days, and then come Tuesday afternoon, the full pink moon occurs, and you'll be able to see it in the nighttime sky then on Tuesday evening in all of its brightness, if your skies are clear to partly cloudy. And looking yesterday, Anchorage snuck in this high temperature record, 57 degrees in the early evening, and that set a new record for April 20th. And it was also the first 50-degree reading in the Anchorage area since last October 2nd. So it's been a very long winter, and of course, Anchorage has had a lot of snow. We'll talk about that here in a second. So Sunday, Gambell on the north side of St. Lawrence Island, light snow, blowing snow, 16 degrees, winter weather advisory in effect there till at least 1 a.m. Monday morning. Dutch Harbor, overcast, 37 degrees. Look at the snowfall there. They've had some snow down that way on and off for some time, and we have another front coming through. They'll have some mixed precipitation as we go through the day Monday and into Monday night. And then Kodiak, a few breaks in the cloud cover. Good news there, temperature at 43 degrees, so a few areas of light rain or some light rain showers could push back in there, especially Monday night into early Tuesday morning. And Klawak, isolated light rain showers, as we expected, would roll into areas of the Panhandle this Sunday afternoon, has kept temperatures a good 10 degrees colder or more than what they were yesterday, 54 as of mid-afternoon. Klawak, though, hit 69 yesterday on Saturday and 68 on both Thursday and Friday afternoon. So quite a stretch of really nice sunny warm weather for the Panhandle and areas of the east central interior. So the only warnings, advisories, or watches that are currently in effect are these few winter weather advisories for snow and blowing snow until late this Sunday night and early Monday morning through the Bering Strait and for St. Lawrence Island, so that would include Shishmaref, Wales, Teller, and on over towards Savunga and Gambell. Again, been seeing this all winter long. This is actually kind of just that last bit of wintry weather you're hopefully going to have to deal with as things will eventually get warmer in the far north as well, but it's first happened here across areas of the southeast. So speaking of winter, people are sick of winter. I've talked enough people everywhere I go just say, you know, come on, this is it. Well, in Anchorage, tied now for the second snowiest winter on record, 132.6 inches. That is tied with 1954, 1955. We need just one more tenth to get into second place officially, and 1.9 inches of snow to take first place. Is that going to happen? Probably not, but is there any chance it could? Yes, there's a couple of systems between now and early May that if you get those little surprise nighttime, early morning events where some moisture can get pulled through Turnagain Arm and you have cold enough temperatures, it could happen, but probably not going to. So I also got images come in from Carl Rainey. He sent these in, and these are images of a snowstorm back in late January that struck Valdez. And he said, I'm tired of hearing about Anchorage all the time and their snow. Well, this is how much snow Valdez has. The guys over at the River Forecast Center, I snuck over and talked to them yesterday afternoon. It took a moment to get some values, but as of today, 295.9, nearly 296 inches of snow has fallen at Valdez. That's 164% of normal of the 30-year climate record that's compared to. The snow water equivalent, so if you could melt all of that snow that has fallen this past winter in Valdez, it'd be equivalent to nearly 3 feet of rain. So it's been a very snowy winter in many areas of South Central. So thank you again, Carl, for those images, and hopefully we can start to get a little warmer temperatures up into South Central as well, like what they've enjoyed in the Panhandle. Looking at areas of the Gulf, here comes the next low. It's going to pull a little moisture back toward Kodiak Island Monday night into Tuesday morning. The main weather systems, though, we still can see the hints of the ridge of high pressure from north central Canada into the eastern mainland. That's the ridge axis. Out here to the west, we have a couple of lows that are joining up near the far western Aleutians. It's going to all just move up into the lower and central portion of the Bering Sea, and then the front around this low is going to expand. So here's the way the weather map looks this Sunday afternoon. We have just a remnant trough, which was once that moisture feed coming into Kodiak Island. We have the clearer skies here across northwest Canada into areas of the mainland, and then back to the west. We're looking at these lows combining. Central pressure could bottom out above 970 millibars, but nevertheless, this low, as this other second piece of energy wraps into it and sets up over the lower and western part of the Bering Sea and the Aleutians. Yeah, I could have central pressure down around 970 or so Monday afternoon. But this occluded front working its way slowly east and northeastward, and this thing's just going to wrap around that low even more so. There is another little low, the one I showed you earlier out here south of the Gulf, and that will drift a little. Some of this moisture will come back toward the northwest, could bring some more rain to Kodiak Island, but nothing too heavy. And then we've had a weak front drop in across the Canadian Arctic coast. It's also brushed areas of the eastern Brooks Range with some snow showers and some colder temperatures along the Arctic coast as a result. That just reinforced some colder temperatures. They'll get below zero tonight, next couple of mornings, but otherwise very weak high pressure around Prince William Sound. The main weather feature will be this wrapped up low in the lower half of the Bering Sea on Tuesday. The occluded front, as it kind of washes out, will have some light snow and gusty winds associated with it as a secondary low tries to develop south of the Alaska Peninsula in the North Pacific. Pretty common, and then back through the Panhandle, maybe a few showers brushing the far southern end around Dixon Entrance. And looking at low temperatures, we expect readings to be above freezing in the upper 30s to around 40 degrees across the Panhandle for tonight into Monday morning, and generally above freezing most areas of South Central, with maybe the exception of Copper River Basin up there at Gulkana or Glen Allen. And then temperatures Monday afternoon, if you get any sun, easily hit 50, but there is going to be some cloudiness, things lingering around. Back to the east, Panhandle, notice not nearly as warm, upper 40s to maybe middle 50s for highs instead of 60s. And then temperatures Tuesday morning, dips below freezing in the Copper River Basin, but otherwise 35 in Anchorage. Temperatures starting to stay above freezing now at night. We have readings above freezing across the Panhandle. And temperatures Tuesday afternoon, all it takes, a little smidgen of sun, you could jump up in the low 50s, but conservatively upper 40s to near 50 for highs. Back out here through the Panhandle, maybe pulling out a low 60 degree reading around Klawak and Craig on Tuesday. So notice the colder air up here across the North Slope and along the Arctic coast. Temperatures getting a bit below zero. Near freezing though around Fairbanks. And as we look at high temperatures, still 55 to near 60 in this area of the east central interior. Going down the Yukon River, the coldest temperatures toward the lower Yukon there as we get toward the Bering. Otherwise, daytime highs right around 8 to 16 above here through the North Slope and areas along the Arctic coast. Lows Tuesday morning, maybe not quite as cold, maybe single digits above zero instead of below zero. And temperatures still along the Yukon Valley, Tanana valleys, where skies are clear, could dip below freezing. But otherwise, temperatures recover back up well into the 40s and some 50s again here expected on Tuesday. And I think temperatures could be a bit warmer even as we get toward midweek. Now, across the southwest, temperatures are going to be below freezing through the lower Yukon Delta and then just above freezing, especially east of Bethel toward McGrath. And then down along the Alaska Peninsula into the Aleutians, lows generally in the mid-30s above freezing. And then daytime highs Monday afternoon, maybe near 50 at McGrath, mid-upper 30s along the lower Yukon coast, 40s as you go toward Bethel and down here, even near 50 King Salmon. And then lows again, probably a bit below freezing Tuesday morning, mid-30s along the Aleutians and Alaska Peninsula, and then temperatures again generally getting back up into the 40s here as you go up the Yukon, middle Yukon, as well as the Kuskokwim River basins. And some temperatures at the headwaters of the Kuskokwim will be up around 50 to 55 degrees as we go through Tuesday afternoon. So here is the extended temperature outlook as we go from the very end of April into early May. And right now it's looking like there may be some ridging that would favor above normal temperatures over southern parts of the mainland, including perhaps around areas of Norton Sound, near normal temperatures along the Gulf Coast, back down through the Alaska Peninsula and the Aleutians, with a little below normal temperatures along the North Slope and areas of the Arctic coast from Utqiagvik to Kaktovik. Precipitation still looks like it could average a bit above normal across southern parts of the mainland in through the Panhandle. Now again, this is normally the driest time of year, but all it takes with the systems coming up out of the North Pacific through the lower portion of the Bering and up into the Gulf, catching the coastal areas, we could see it average a little above normal here as we close out April and start May.